And just like that, we are back. I know it's been probably about 5 or 6 days since you last saw us here back at the shop. They've been busy working hard, and I've unfortunately had to take care of some stuff outside of the shop. So, what's new? What's going on?
Done anything with this. It's been kind of nice, but since you were here and we needed to film something, I pulled the wastegate line off just to make sure it didn't leak.
Yeah.
It doesn't leak.
That's good. So,
we have another wastegate. So, grabbed this from the shelf off down at Steve's from the SUPERCAR system shelf. So, 2 of these on there. So, I have 120 millimeters worth of wastegate because one doesn't cut it. And like I touched on, I think in the last video, maybe it works up. It works up at altitude because the engine's a lot smaller.
Yeah.
It doesn't work down here. So, yeah. Let's see what else. I looked through all the data. I am logging EMAP, so that's exhaust manifold pressure. And yeah, even at 17, 18 pounds, still only like 20 or 21 pounds of exhaust manifold pressure. So that's just not enough to push it out, I guess. I don't know. It's over boosting, and I guess we'll just add 2 gates. So we'll do that, and then we'll get a bunch of other stuff going on this. Otherwise, we do have a bit of an announcement.
Yeah?
I announced on Facebook today, so if you're following me there, you'll already know, but we're going all-wheel drive.
We're going all-wheel drive.
All-wheel drive, so we'll have axles sticking out in between drive shafts.
All-wheel drive in this thing.
Yeah.
Is that really necessary?
Absolutely. So looking at the data, yes, I was over boosting, but on top of that, I would just blow the tires off. Even when you turn the boost down, it's still gonna overpower the tires anywhere under like 80 miles an hour, which Pikes Peak, the average speed is 90 to 95. 95 if you're on a record pace. So, and you have like 37 hairpins that are 30, 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So if you're giving up, right now this car would do 60 in about 3.5 seconds. It's traction limited. It's just spinning tires.
Yeah.
With all-wheel drive, it'll be down under 2 seconds.
I was about to say, that's 3.5 with you spinning.
Yeah. If you could dead hook, dead hook, it'll be 1.5, which that is the goal. I'm going to be adding about 200 pounds to the car, but because we're redesigning all the uprights, I think we can actually cut some weight from the current design. The current design is about 18 pounds per corner on just the upright alone and the wheel bearing. I think we're going to end up at like 12 or 13. I know we're cutting hairs, 20 pounds, but 20 pounds is 20 pounds.
Yeah, so, 18 pounds here, 20 pounds there. I mean, it's going to add up.
Yep. So that's the goal there. I kind of started a joke with Sebastian Lamore. It's the fat list. Like these front fenders, we rushed them through so quick. We overbuilt them.
Super thick.
Yeah, so we're going to cut like 20 pounds just on those alone.
He's chuckling because that was a struggle for us before we left.
Oh, you were like super thick.
They were super thick. So then I'm kind of curious, and I'm probably not the only one. So since you're going all-wheel drive, does that mean you are still kind of going with the same power numbers that you were originally, or are we going to be increasing because we can now?
We can go up 30%.
Oh.
Well, let's back up. So SADEV is like, do not increase torque.
This one. What?
This is my really bad French. What is that, more German?
I was supposed to say, we're not going to let... Never mind. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, they didn't want to see over 740 foot-pounds, and even that was pushing it. 20-something pounds of boost is about 1,100 foot-pounds.
Psych!
At the wheels. So I'm not really worrying too much about their numbers. They rate the same stuff for the Unicorn, and that thing's like 1,700 horsepower. Same thing with Rob Down. The ratings, I think they're the ratings. The ratings, so they can run for a long time, and we're not in this for a long time. We're in this for a good time.
Yes.
So,
it's a CYA tactic,
But almost lost the firing again. So this turbo will run out about 1,500 horsepower, so we're gonna take it to there.
Jeez.
And then we've got a big GTX 5533 that'll do like 1,900 horsepower. If this isn't enough, we'll put that on. That's also from Garrett. So
yeah, thank you, Garrett, as always, for hooking things up.
But what else? So yeah, they quote about 7 weeks. We still have a week of engineering to figure out what we actually need. We got to get a little funky with the drive shafts. Yeah. The differential goes exactly where the pedal box is at.
So, whoop, hold on, let me get it darker there.
Pedal box? I think we're gonna take stuff apart. Yeah, you can't see it.
Okay. Well, anyway, It's in that
There.
general vicinity.
So basically, instead of having 3 pedals,
Yeah, that's gonna be too dark.
yeah, instead of having three pedals, we're gonna have 2, one on each side of the diff, because you're gonna have, well, this way, the gas on the right, brake on the left, split the diff, and then the clutch pedal we just get rid of. I've been talking with Chair Slayer, Robert Parsons, about doing a clutch for hand activated clutch, but that'll give us options for bugs. That'll give us options for that can set up different launch strategies, like a nice smooth launch, or whenever that's in a 2-step, you know, full launch mode, it'll be an aggressive launch. So that way when I let go of the clutch, it's bang and you go.
Sick.
So there's all kinds of stuff. So we'll figure that out. That's relatively easy. Something might even be able to do just with a Heltec with the Nexus. I just got to find the hardware to actually control the clutch. So, or I can just get a motorcycle lever and activate the current master, because the RPS carbon clutch is really light. So
Sick.
I might just literally have a brake lever that I pull, let go when I'm ready. I mean, whatever.
Dump it.
That might be what we do to like get to SEMA the next day.
Hey, remember those 21 hour plus days to get to Pikes Peak? We're probably gonna do it again for SEMA. Just kidding.
SEMA, and then also again for Pikes Peak. Probably for PRI somewhere in there.
Are we doing PRA?
I don't
Is
know.
that a thing?
I'm sure someone will, like Motown usually does a booth. So, Sean, get me in the Motown booth. Yeah, and we'll do that. It'll be awesome. It's only 5 hours from here, so.
Oh, because it's in Chicago, right?
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, okay.
So.
My bad, people.
So what else? Yeah, that's big news. So 7 weeks, call it 8 weeks, call it 11 weeks by the time you're done with shipping, which puts us just after Empire Hillclimb, which is convenient because that's when I would begin the all-wheel drive build for SEMA. So that's my soft kind of goal, but we also have to design new uprights. Have to have Nathan from Cox Machine build the new uprights.
Yep.
And the new wheels.
Yep.
I'll reach out to HRE to see if they want to send me new wheels. But
Oh, so you have to do new wheels?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I'll explain why. I mean, I'm 99.9% sure. So we're gonna end up with a big nut, right?
Okay.
We can't cut into this to fit a bigger nut. The wheel is gonna become too weak.
Gotcha.
So these aren't scrap. These are great wheel and the upright just for a lower horsepower car.
Yeah.
So
if someone doesn't, if someone wants to build this, then you have an option for them to.
Yep. And I may even put this on the shelf and we'll do an NA Enviate later on down the road. Just have these wheels. So
good to know.
They work great. They just don't work for what we're doing anymore. And it's like I've been careful. Like Dennis pallet, they're a pallet top design.
Yeah.
They've done great, but I don't think he designed it to do what we're doing. So that's on us, not Dennis's fault. So
yeah, that's your mad scientist brain going, we need more.
We need more. So Nathan has to do all that. He wants to try to make some wheels. He found the blanks. He's got the machines. So
okay.
So if we can get all that done, if we can get in his schedule, I think we can make it happen for SEMA. I mean, will it be perfect? No, but we'll have all 4 wheels spinning at SEMA. So, and then at SEMA, when they're done, when you unload the cars, they let you drive around the strip.
I know you did mention you want to do the parade.
So I have to get a brake light on for that at least. But maybe by then we'll have a license plate hanging off it anyway. Yeah. I'll put it on a hinge so it doesn't interfere with aero.
Yeah, just like Adams. Adams is halfway off the bumper anyway.
Yeah. So that's it for this. So I got to do wastegate. Did I touch on the brake knockback? I know the video there were several theories, but I did confirm it on the last one. I don't remember.
I don't know if we did.
Wheels are developing so much toe against the wheel bearing that the rotor is also developing toe and it's pushing the rear brake pads open.
Oh.
So then you go to push the brake and you got to get the brake pads to go in, so you're pumping the brake to even find the brakes.
Gotcha.
So Rob from RPS put a knockback valve on the front brakes because we were thinking it was front brake knockback, which is normal. It's normally when you turn the wheel and you have a floating rotor, the rotor's flopping around and it opens up the front brake pads.
Yeah.
Nothing changed. So I'm going to put that on the rear. I'm
Gotcha.
going to do this because actually it all has to come apart in that area. And then I'm also going to probably drain all the fluids, change them all. Like, engine coolant, no, but like trans fluid, I want to check the trans filter.
Yep.
Engine oil, same thing, check that. Steve, we went to Steve's on Monday, which you weren't here for.
Nope.
Nobody knows. We'll show you what we did in a second.
I was about to say, I heard there was something.
But Steve wanted me to check the engine last, so we'll have to pull the frame apart to be able to get the valve covers off, the valve last. So we'll kind of do like a maintenance couple days, get this ready to go back out again. Exhaust manifold, it did come loose again, and/or we blew the gasket. Started up, you hear a little tick. Connor's like, "What's that tick?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "That's a lot of work, is what that is." So we'll fix that. Just we'll kind of go through the car, almost do a full nut and bolt, make sure everything's tight. If it's not, find out why, Loctite it, whatever.
So I remember something you were also talking about too, about the reservoirs. Do you still need to move those because you were worried about doing that?
I'm going to, just because of due diligence, kind of have to. We'll do that while we have to crack the brake lines, so we got to bleed them anyway. So yeah, so we have to crack the brake lines to switch the knockback valves. So yes, I'll raise the reservoirs, say that 10 times fast. Yeah, right. While we do all that.
Cool.
Otherwise, frame is rusty, I'm sad, but it's gonna get painted at some point. So we'll go through and WD-40 all that, just keep it from getting too rusty. So,
yeah, it's crazy to like kind of look at it how quickly it can happen.
Yeah, even though, I mean, we've kind of WD-40'd it too.
Yeah.
Just, nature doesn't care. But I'm glad we didn't paint it because we get to weld a bunch of stuff to it. So.
Sweet. Yeah, basically.
So let's.
I was gonna say, is this the time for you to show me kind of what you guys have been doing this week?
Yeah. I guess we'll open this.
What is? I mean, we showed this before, but that was definitely not there when I was here last.
Did we show it?
We kind of showed a little bit of the chassis.
Of the chassis.
Wait, no.
We didn't.
Because I didn't use that footage. Surprise! Here it is.
This is the SUPERCAR System B2 Spirit, I believe. It's kind of one of their first chassis. I think they only have a few chassis. We have one of them. They only have a few gearboxes. We have one of them. And then this is what we got from Steve. This is their Stage 3 engine.
Ooh.
It's based on a Crate 6.2, but it's got internals. So it'll do 1,100 horsepower is what they're rating it. Single turbo. Still waiting on a few components from SUPERCAR System to connect everything.
Yeah, this is wild.
So what are we doing?
I don't know. What are you doing?
Getting this car ready for not only SEMA, but for multiple months ahead of SEMA for testing, so we can put miles on that gearbox. We're gonna get this street legal and drive this around at 1,100 horsepower, looking not much different than this.
That's so wild. That's crazy. And it's weird because I know you guys will, I mean, unless you see it in person in this kind of state, that's tiny.
So it's pretty lightweight. You'll see all the suspension go to the build up front. This is kind of the heave design, anti-roll design. We're going to start by removing that and then slowly feed that back in with more aero, but it's on there for now. Yeah, so this is my next couple months. This is why the SEMA thing is a maybe for the all-wheel drive, because this has got to be done and ready.
Yeah.
And have miles on it. So if we get it done, we get it done. We can do all-wheel drive things on the Enviate, but this is first. These guys have paid the bills, so time to do the work, right?
Right. This is crazy.
Paolo thinks it's going to be like 2,200 pounds running and driving. I don't see it weighing that much because it's pretty light already. I'm betting it'd be like 1,800 without body, like driving around.
Yeah, okay. I'm assuming they've already got like all of their designs and stuff for what it's actually going to look like.
They do not. They have several body designs that they're designing. Nothing's firm, but the chassis and the drivetrain is solid, yes.
Gotcha.
This gearbox, they're building it to not only put in their cars, but to sell the gearboxes. I can't say exactly where they fail, but they fail well north of 1,500 foot-pounds. Well north. So
that's wild.
And that's
freaking crazy. I mean, it's beefy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a lightweight gearbox, but it's designed for big turbo V8s and anything else you can throw at it. So, sure, as you know, after SEMA, maybe even before SEMA, we may end up having a billet engine in this. If not, we might even have it in the NBA by then. But then we'll turn it up and really test it. So we had to get this in. Like, we just got back from Pikes Peak, 2 weeks ago, a little over.
Yeah.
Kind of took a week to recoup a little bit and then got right back into it. I got the axles ordered yesterday. I'll have the Haltech ordered. We're going to run this Haltech Nexus in this. SUPERCAR System has their own body control, their own every car, everything control, but I mean they're a year out from having it ready. So prototype things, just get it running, and they love seeing the Nexus, Haltech Nexus work at Pikes Peak. Plus, it's so modular. We can learn a lot with it.
Yeah.
And then when they come down to finalizing their own control system, they can kind of integrate some of what we've learned. So.
Yeah. Sweet.
But
That's wild, dude.
Somehow this is my life now.
Yeah.
Building crazy prototype cars.
Hey,
So,
asking you shall receive.
I guess, right?
And it's really cool too, because like I saw this again. I've always made the comment, it's pretty dang hard for me to get into that, and if I do, I'm gonna have troubles. So I was like, hey, this is actually a pretty big seat. So for me, well, gotta turn you upside down a little bit. Ugh. I actually fit in this thing. You know, like I said, I'm a thick boy, so for me to fit into like an actual race seat, it's pretty crazy. And it look.
Here, put the camera like right here. Your head is below the bars too.
Is it?
Yeah. So you're
That's
legal to actually
wild.
drive it. And this seat is not really mounted.
Yeah.
It'll be. You'll actually get a little bit lower in it. So.
That's wild. Yeah.
I'm still waiting on a lot of the car. So like there's a pedal box assembly. There's a carbon fiber liner that actually goes in before anything else does.
Gotcha.
You sit in that. But we're waiting on that too. So my function in life is going to be to get this engine running within the next like week. I mean, if we can do it, it's going to be. So dry sumps on the way, a bunch of stuff. So
Sick.
radiators are a fun one. Like you have radiators that mount on a slant, kind of like the Enviate. They mount at 45.
Yeah.
Well, these cores are like parallelogrammed. So you got the tanks up here, but the rows go this way. So I don't know who the heck's going to make that. So
All right.
the prototype may have a normal radiator just to get up and running, because I don't want to wait 3 months for a freaking radiator. So
Yeah, I don't blame you.
but yeah, it's exciting. So
It's a lot, man. A lot going on.
Question. What are you going to be doing for a fuel cell?
they're building that.
They're building a fuel cell?
Yeah, I think it's probably a two-piece tank, and kind of goes left and right, and then the transfer pump, kind of like the Ultima actually. So,
Wild.
and then so once this is running, somewhere in the budget we're going to get a trailer, and whenever we go to the track with the Enviate, we're going to drag this along
Sweet.
and do back-to-back testing with both. So, y'all get to drive on the track somewhere as long as you don't wreck it. If you wreck it, you're working forever for free to fix it.
Yeah, can we?
Is there such thing as insurance policies for ourselves so that we don't have to do that? is that something that's out there? Leave a comment down below.
But no, it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun to get both. You know.
Well, so on this one,
Both cars
we'll be using traction control, so you'd have to try really hard to wreck it.
Well, and
He thinks we're not that dumb. We're not going to do something that we're not supposed to.
You know what we got to do?
What's that?
We got to get y'all into EJ Trash and learn how to drive the track. And then
For sure.
and then we can actually hop into these and you have an idea what you're doing.
I've wanted.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I know, no, and I was saying, last year, and I need to get on Chris for this, but I want to do an episode of us, like 101 basics of us going around a track and kind of learning stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be cool to see, like, you, me, Brian, like, going at it and just seeing, like, who's got the fastest time. I mean, we can only get 3 laps out of that thing, because that's what about you and Jubei and Eric did before it,
No, we'll get a good engine.
But
We'll put some crappy tires on it so it doesn't oil starve it.
yeah,
That was the mistake there.
cool.
But yeah, so next week we're gonna dig into wiring on this. It's gonna be about the most boring thing in the world to film, but maybe we'll also jump over some other stuff.
Yeah.
I still have, so again, guys, I do some like other stuff like 3D tours for the Traverse City Tourism
In
here.
other words, I can't afford to pay him.
You do in ways.
Well, let me rephrase. I can't afford to pay him full time. He charges way too much.
I'm a reasonable guy. No, so there's unfortunately summer is big for a lot of the resorts. So I'm gonna make sure that they are pretty set up, and when I can be here, I will be here to do updates and stuff. But I mean that's probably about it, huh?
So I think that's it. Connor's working on sunroof release. We only got 3 left to build now.
Yeah.
So
You guys are busy doing your thing. There's a lot of stuff.
It's super cool to see this thing because I mean, can I say it now that we've had it, that we've had that gearbox for like months?
yeah,
Yes, we've had that gearbox for months. We just couldn't.
We got it in January.
Yeah. Okay, almost over half a year. So we've been there's been a lot of stuff in the works, and there's still a lot of stuff in the works. So the whole thing with SEMA, and maybe from the couple episodes back before, we've had a lot of people comment about, you know, potentially going to see some people. So there's been a lot of stuff. So we're excited. Now it's time to get everything done for SEMA. That's going to be a huge event, and everyone's getting really excited. So thank you again, guys, for always watching, subscribing, sharing. I mean, we're still constantly getting messages, especially from Honda Meet last weekend. So thank you guys all for the support, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.